Whereas this American Legion post has established a tradition of honoring those veteran members whose service to the post and to their community is exemplary and worthy of special note, and whereas Larry S. Miners enlisted the United States Army in 1961, and after completing basic and advanced training in the Officer Candidate School, served bravely, loyally, and faithfully as a platoon leader with the 1st Battalion, 2nd Infantry, 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One, in the Iron Triangle of Vietnam. He was awarded the Combat Infantryman Badge, the Bronze Star Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, the Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal, and the Vietnam Campaign Medal for his wartime service. And whereas when his civilian employment brought him to Avon Lake, he affiliated as a veteran member with American Legion Post 211 in 2002, and for 14 years, from 2003 to 2016, served the post as first vice commander and chairman of the membership committee in a very time-consuming and difficult job. Larry performed his assigned duties in an exceptionally meritorious manner. And whereas Larry also served his city as a ward councilman, having been elected 4 times in 2003, 2007, 2011, and 2015 for terms of 4 years, serving the residents of Ward 3 in an outstanding and conscientious manner for more than 14 years, January 2004 to March 2018. Now, therefore, the veteran members of Post 211 wish to honor Larry by presenting him with this proclamation and publicly thanking him for his service to Post 211 in the city of Avon Lake on this 12th day of March 2018, the occasion of his retirement from the Avon Lake City Council. Signed by myself.
Legionnaires, attention. Present arms. Order. Arms.
Good job, Larry.
Take seats. I have a salute to Lawrence Miners. Whereas Lawrence Miners, United States Army veteran, served with distinction in Vietnam to answer the call to protect and defend justice, liberty, and democracy. Whereas Lawrence Miners' conduct and behavior in Veterans Affairs in the city of Avon Lake has been distinguished, and he has exhibited a devotion to patriotism. Many words can describe Larry: leader, hardworking, honorable, sincere, tough, solid, serious, strong, sedate, a parent, caring, focused, politician, and at times a bit stubborn. Of all the descriptive phrases and friends that can be said about Larry, one word stands out among all. It is friend. Larry has been a friend to the veterans, to the city of Avon Lake, and surrounding communities. Let us take a moment to thank Larry Miners. We will sincerely miss him. God bless you, Larry. In witness whereof, I do hereby set my hand this 12th day of March 2018. William J. Russell, Commandant, Major S. J. Logan, Detachment 275 of the Marine Corps League, Fairview Park, Ohio. And Mike Pippin, who's the only Marine in our contingent, is going to present Larry with a Marine Corps coin.
John didn't think it would be appropriate to give this to you, so being a Marine, Bill Russell being a Marine.
For 8 years.
That's right.
He's protected my
Okay.
side. Yeah.
Well, good. That's from Bill Russell. And
You, sir.
thank you.
We're going to deal with the civilian part of Larry Miners. Whereas the ability of federal, state, and local governments to be responsive and innovative and effective depends on the outstanding performance of dedicated public officials. And whereas Larry Miners has faithfully served the residents of Avon Lake as Ward 3 councilman since 2004. During his time as councilman, Larry has presided over the Human Resources, Finance, and Sewer Committees as chairman. In addition, he was a diligent member of the Public Service, Safety, and Finance Committees, as well as the Walker Road Park Joint Committee with Bay Village, and past chair of the Charter Review Commission. And whereas Larry has devoted countless hours to the city of Avon Lake and has provided sound experience and judgment while serving the community with professionalism, efficiency, and integrity. And whereas in addition to his extraordinary contributions to the city of Avon Lake, Larry served his country with dignity and honor in the United States Army, where he was awarded numerous medals and commendations for his meritorious conduct. And now, therefore, the city of Avon Lake congratulates Larry Miners for his outstanding service to his country and our community. We extend to him our deepest appreciation for all his dedicated work and wish him the best in all his future endeavors. Signed on this day, 12th of March, 2018, Greg Zilka, Mayor. Congratulations, my friend. If you wish to say a few things, this is your time.
No, I'm not going to say long. I told John Shonda that I don't do this very well. There's a lot of men up here that I have served with in the American Legion who saw a lot of combat. And it's not fun. And so I told John Shonda, who at one time was my good friend, that I didn't want something like this to happen. I just really wanted to walk out of here and be gone to Phoenix, Arizona. But he didn't listen to me, as he normally doesn't. I have served with honor and very humble the 14 years that I've been on City Council. And I have been blessed having served with Greg as my leader, and now Marty as my leader. And you don't know how tough it is to lead people, especially in politics, because we're like cats. We're real tough to lead until you have men of distinction like Marty and Greg. And I will always be endeavored to you guys as trying to show the example, and unfortunately I don't think I succeeded very often. I had dinner the other night with Jennifer and Mark, and it was lovely, it was fine. And at that time I told Jennifer, I said, I hope that no one does anything before I leave, because I just don't like goodbyes. Again, I've been blessed. I've been humbled. 4 times I was elected. Why, I don't know, but I was. And thank you very much. That's all I can say. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Larry is a man with a cause. I think we all recognize that. We all recognize Larry as a man with compassion while he passionately speaks about topics that are near and dear to his heart. He often speaks about the struggles of elderly residents and how legislation under consideration may affect them. Larry has been respectful in debate with other members of council. He was not afraid to voice his opinion or show his tender side when dealing with difficult issues. He's a dedicated councilman, having served, as you have heard. He's also proud to have served our country, as you have heard. And I must say that Larry, after retiring from General Electric, he founded LSM Packaging, representing a diversified plastic bag manufacturer. Larry also enjoys attending performances at Playhouse Square and keeping up with the local sports teams. Serving Avon Lake residents for 14 years, as you've heard. Larry helped to shape the city as we now enjoy it. And I must say that Council has a process for the replacement, and you'll hear more about that later. But we want to wish you well in your successes and in your vision.
Thank you.
And he will always, I think, have his heart here in Avon Lake. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Koss.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Council President. I've had the pleasure of sitting next to Larry for my 10 years here on City Council, and the majority of those years, there were 3 of us, the veterans group, me, Larry, and John Shondel, and it'll just be me. So you know what I'll be looking for in your possible replacement. But he brought a real unique perspective, and he was a champion of veterans' rights, and he always asked, how can we do things better for our veteran citizens here in the city? We don't always agree on things, and in fact, we disagree on many things. Probably of everybody up here, there are probably no 2 people that have a farther political divide than Larry and me. And yet we can sit here for 10 years and be friends and vote in the best interest of the people of Avon Lake and not have our political interests come between us. So I think that says a lot to his character and who he is. He's a part of the Marine family, and he's worked very hard helping me get the Toys for Tots going here in the city, and I'll always be grateful for that. You put in a lot of work for that, and I appreciate it. I'm going to miss you. So, Semper Fi.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. James.
Thank you, Mr. President. Marty, or Larry, rather, I'm not good at goodbyes either. So what? It's not goodbye, it's so long.
I just want to say I appreciate Mr. Miners' dedication not only to the residents of Avon Lake, but to the residents of Ward 3 who have elected him 4 times. And also his work being 3 times Council Pro Tem. I appreciate that, Mr. Miners, as well. And
Can we start
lastly,
again?
I just want to thank you for serving our country, too. I appreciate that. And good luck in Phoenix.
Secondly, I did get a letter from Charter Communications, which is Spectrum, and in part, on or after April 3rd, 2018, Charter Spectrum will begin removing the remaining analog channels on our lineup and delivering only higher quality digital signals to each television outlet in the home. Over 90% of Charter Spectrum customers are already using digital equipment. They're going to do this to upgrade the service, and it will require installation of the set-up top box. But Spectrum, for a short period of time, is providing free equipment, offers to customers without digital equipment for a specified period of time. So if you know individuals who do not have continued to have the analog without the digital, this is an opportunity for them to get the free conversion. They're going to be actively communicating with customers, including through direct mail, building statement messages, automated phones, and on-screen television messaging. So we certainly let your friends and neighbors know about that if they're in need of that. Lastly, Jack Kilroy, who's an Avon Lake resident, had 5 years ago put together a Sober 17th. It's celebrating St. Patrick's Day without alcohol. And he's had 5 very successful events over the years. It's at Ahern's Banquet Center in Avon Lake. And there will be music, Irish dance, food, and more. And Jack will speak passionately about this, particularly trying to destroy the myth of Irish and their proclivity to drink alcohol to excess on that day. That's a very important cultural thing for people of Irish heritage. So we would encourage residents of Avon Lake to support that. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for passage of temporary legislation 10989R.
Discussion?
Mr. President, this measure interprets and enforces the requirements of Section 37 of the Charter and incorporates into the codified ordinances the process and procedure by which the municipality executes its contracts and engages outside counsel. While the role and responsibilities of the law director are set forth in the Charter, And the city of Avon Lake, and before it, the village, has always had a law director or solicitor to fulfill those responsibilities. This ordinance sets forth in greater detail the specific circumstances under which contracts of the municipality are prepared and the manner in which outside legal counsel is retained, managed, and paid for by the municipality. Moreover, this ordinance establishes the duties for the assistant law director when acting in the absence or illness of the law director, and sets forth the manner for handling a conflict of interest of the law director or assistant law director. Notably, the ordinance is neutral to all the various officers and heads of the municipality, and includes all boards and commissions of the municipality, including boards and commissions that have quasi-judicial or administrative authority, such as the Board of Zoning Appeals, the Civil Service Commission, or the Board of Municipal Utilities. Indeed, this ordinance will equally apply to council itself as well as to the mayor. Compliance with the ordinance is prescribed for all officers and employees of the municipality. This ordinance fulfills and formalizes the memorandum issued by the mayor, the council president, and the law director to all officers, directors, executives, and heads of all Avon Lake departments and the chairs of all Avon Lake boards and commissions on July 31st, 2017. The ordinance was considered by the Public Service Committee on November 27th, 2017, and by a vote of 4-0 favorably discharged it to the collective committee and to the city council. This ordinance has been reviewed by the law director and by outside counsel authorized by the law director, who recommended various changes to the ordinance to ensure that it complies with the charter, statutory law of the state of Ohio, and case law from the Supreme Court of Ohio. To that end, the ordinance was amended by a vote of this council on February 26, 2018, and is fully compliant with the charter and state law. This evening, if temporary legislation number 10989R is approved by 5 members of council, council will be exercising 3 of its most significant authorities under the charter. First, to the extent there are any inconsistencies or obscurities in the charter, it will resolve those conflicts. Second, it exercises the financial authority of council through its appropriations power, otherwise known as the power of the purse, to provide procedures for the sound financial management of the municipality and to protect and safeguard the financial affairs of the municipality. Finally, it provides for duties for the various officers and heads of the municipality and prescribes those duties for the Board of Municipal Utilities, which council may specifically do under the charter. It is necessary to do this as an emergency matter because it is important to ensure the prudent and lawful expenditure of municipal funds, and further delay could inhibit the ability of the municipality to ensure appropriate expenditures. Nevertheless, this measure is not without serious thought and earnest discussion with other elected municipal officials, which has occurred over the last 8 months. Resolution of this issue now is necessary to move the municipality forward in an efficient, forthright manner. Though even if this ordinance is adopted this evening, it does not mean that the conversation must end. Conversation can and should continue, guided by the parameters of the ordinance. In sum, this ordinance is good municipal policy and sound fiscal management, and provides for consistency across the municipality, which, when it comes to legal affairs, has been at best uneven in the past. It ensures that we are in line with our own charter and with Ohio law. Most importantly, it ensures that there is full communication with the law director on legal matters. I therefore encourage my colleagues to support this ordinance. Thank you, Mr. President. This ordinance will award a contract to Great Lakes Recycling Incorporated, doing business as Simple Recycling, and enter into a rather innovative relationship with Simple Recycling. Essentially, it'll permit Simple Recycling to collect and dispose of what are known as soft recyclables, or things like linens or textiles or small appliances, and other things that residents may be throwing away in their regular trash disposal. And instead, Simple Recycling will take them and recycle them in a manner that perhaps extracts some value to it, and then appropriately disposes of the remainder of the material. And for this, the city will receive a small fee, but I really think the most important part is that less items will be going into our landfills, which is better for everyone. This is something that a resident brought to the community, and I'll defer to Mrs. Fenderbosch to indicate the name of the resident, but certainly it's an example of constituents being engaged and interactive with their elected representatives and providing thoughtful ideas that we can actually act on. And so I'm glad to do that today. One aspect that certainly we'll have to consider, certainly at the request of Mr. Koss, but it's a very good suggestion, is revisit our scavenger ordinance to ensure that this permission to simple recycling is consistent with our scavenger ordinance, so that's not violated, and we continue to enforce that in a reasonable manner. We do understand the Public Works Director has spoken with our trash hauler, the one that has our current trash franchise agreement, that this will not interfere or violate that contract. So certainly this is a good effort by the city, environmentally sound. I'm certain the administration will work to promote this and put it on our social media and websites. So I ask my colleagues to support this as well. Thank you.
Discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. About 4 years ago, the city of Avon Lake joined what is now known as the Lorain County Trash Consortium. It's a group of municipalities and townships and villages in Lorain County in an effort to use their economy of scale to bid out our solid waste and recycling contracts. I participated in that process, as did the Public Works Director and the Mayor, and in short, it was extremely successful, working with the other political entities to bring a lower cost waste solution to the city. That consortium bid out contracts for a 5-year period, and the winner of the Avon Lake contract was essentially Republic Service. They're doing business as Browning Ferris, but Republic Services of Elyria, Ohio, is the current trash contractor. That contract expires on December 31st, 2018, and the Lorain County Trash Consortium will again be working to bid out for another 5-year period all of the participating municipalities and villages and townships to provide a good contract for the next 5 years. But in doing so, and they acutely observed that in all of the locations that are participants in the consortium, there are plastic containers that the trash companies pick up nowadays. And if a new trash contractor were awarded a contract at the expiration of the current contract on December 31st, 2018, it would be difficult and maybe impractical, if not impossible, to switch out the plastic containers. In the middle of the holidays, in the middle of winter, a very difficult period. So in an effort to smooth any transition, if a transition does occur, the Trash Consortium would like to extend the contracts for trash contractors, for franchisees, to March 31st, 2019. The city can certainly do this. This is permitted by Ohio law. And as with the remainder of the participants, and there are many in the Lorain County Trash Consortium, the request is for Avon Lake to do that for their contract, and this ordinance would authorize that. Thank you, Mr. President.